Hi and welcome everyone. This is the Hobo Prepper and I am Friar Tuck. So today we are going to be talking about the 14th Amendment and what it means and kind of how it affects you as an individual. So you guys have heard me talk a little bit about the 14th Amendment and, just the things that are surrounding it. Okay. So let's talk about the 14th Amendment and let's talk about citizenship, because there are two parts to the 14th Amendment, and one of them is kind of starting to play out right now. And I think that this is imperative. So this is like the third week of my the constitutional history that I'm putting out, and right now we're going through something with the debt ceiling. But there are three parts actually. There is the citizenship clause, there's the due process clause, and then there is the debt clause. So let's talk about citizenship. So in the Constitution, it will say the citizens of the several states shall elect their representatives. Well, this is legalese because it is a legal contract between the people of America and the federal government. This is the rules by which we all agree to be governed. Okay. And so post-Civil War, a lot of the southern states would not allow the citizens of the free black slaves to be able to get some sort of citizenship. So what they did is they created a second-class citizen. The United States actually started, which is, and we'll talk about this more in future videos, but I kind of want to touch the basis of this. But the United States created a citizenship outside of the state. So before the Civil War, before the 14th Amendment, you were a citizen of your state, and then by association, you were a citizen of America or the United States. Okay, so what this ends up doing is it ends up switching jurisdiction. It switches the jurisdiction to you are a citizen of the United States, and then your secondary citizenship is a citizen of the states. So the Supreme Court has consistently ruled that the Bill of Rights was designed to protect the citizens of the several states from the federal government, not the citizens of the United States from the federal government. So as a U.S. citizen, you have benefits and privileges. As a citizen of the several states, you have rights that are enforceable. And so, there is this thin line that everybody gets to cross, or the court system plays, because they got to keep the illusion going somewhat. Okay, the second thing is that you have the right of due process. Now, what is due process? It is a legal procedure. It does not mean that it has to be, it doesn't have to be, anything legal. So, for example, and the IRS does this to you all the time. Okay, so due process is this. What happens is I send you a letter and I say, because I'm the most handsome man in the world, you owe me $10,000. Well, the average person would look at it, think it's a joke, and toss it and throw it away in their trash. But there are four ways in which you can that you need to respond to any legal notice or any letter that's actually being sent to you, especially a letter that has a claim in it. Okay, so, and I will talk about this in future videos as well. Okay, so these are some things that you guys can look forward to. So I send you the letter, I say you have 10 days to respond. Well, you don't respond, and I send you a reminder letter, and I say, okay, I sent you a letter just to make sure that you got it. You owe me $10,000 because I'm the most handsome man in the world, and so since I haven't heard from you, I'm just waiting for you to send me the check. You have 10 more days to respond. Okay, so federally you need to wait a minimum of 21 days before it becomes I don't know what the exact word is, but before it is basically set. Okay, I think the word is res judicata, which we will talk about that again in the future. I just kind of want to touch on the basis of this. Okay, so when you are I've sent you that second notice. Okay, so now what I want to do is, so now that I'm following due process, I sent you a claim, I did not hear from you, I sent you a reminder, I did not hear from you. Now I can go into the court system and say, well, because they were silent, they accepted this, they didn't respond to dispute it, so therefore these guys, you owe me $10,000 because I'm the most handsome man in the world. Now, is there, think about the legal part of it. I mean, I put this out there and I sent you a claim, and because you didn't dispute the claim, now you actually owe me the money. And this is what the IRS does to you. They're going to send you a letter, then they're going to send you another letter, and if you don't respond, well, then what ends up happening is now that is a judgment that can be entered. So now I take it through the second part of the process of due process. I go to the court, I say I sent them a letter, I sent them a reminder letter, they never responded, so therefore they owe me the money. And so that is due process. It does not have to be legal. It doesn't actually have to be valid within law. It is just a process in which you complete a legal procedure. But the third thing, and the most important thing, because we're dealing with the debt ceiling right now, is that you shall not question the debt. And the Democrats, they are saying, well, we want an unconditional raising of the debt ceiling. And the Republicans are saying, no, we want to have these cuts and these cuts and these cuts. Well, the thing is legally and technically, and if Biden decides to, if he really, really wants to, he can enforce that clause within the 14th Amendment, which says that you shall not question the debt. Now, the fact that Congress has gone in there and put that in there, it is actually a direct violation of the 14th Amendment. Now, there will be lawyers that will argue that precedence has been set, but there will be others that will argue that you have no right to question the debt, and if we want to run up an astronomical debt, there's nothing that you can say or do about it. You're just on the hook because all the debt is based upon the full faith and credit of you and me. Okay, so we can sit here and we can have this debate all we want in the public about the debt, about the national debt, how we want it to be balanced, and how we want to be able to pay off our debt, because the people don't want to be burdened with all of this long-term debt. But here's the thing. Under the 14th Amendment, what was created is that you and I and even Congress doesn't have the right to question the debt. They can run up the debt as much as possible. And this is something that may be playing out and that you may be seeing in the public over the next few weeks, few months, or as time goes along, or by the time this video comes out, that may actually have already happened. Okay, so these are some things that you as an individual, to understand the Constitution and kind of understand where you stand and what's really going on and why they can do what they're doing. This is just a brief explanation so that you as an individual have the ability to understand it, so that when these things happen, you're sitting, instead of getting frustrated, you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. I know why this is happening. We need to figure out a way to fix this. Now, there are a couple of ways in which we can fix this. First and foremost is that you need to repeal the 14th Amendment. By repealing the 14th Amendment and sending immigration back to the states, then the states will actually have the ability to dictate and question the debt. You will have to. We will go back to something like common law, and then also jurisdiction will be changed, and there will be some positive and some negative effects to it. Okay. The other thing is Congress declared war during the Civil War. They actually went through and they declared war. And this is another part of the 14th Amendment, why they were able to get it passed and force it through, even though in a lot of ways people say that it was unconstitutional because it was done under duress. Okay, and we will talk about that in a future video as well. Okay, so what we need to do is get Congress to move to declare a time of peace from the Civil War, so that it will take our government from being hostile towards us and putting us under. We're no longer under martial law because the hostilities have stopped. We're under martial rule, which is why we have the police force versus peace officers, which is what they used to be. Okay, so this is just some information for you to kind of help you understand what's going on legally, what's going on constitutionally. Okay, so if you like this video, stay a patron. There's going to be more videos like this coming out. And if you'd like to leave a tip down in my tip jar because you find this to be valuable, there'll be everything down in the description, and plus my affiliate links as well. So thank you for being a Patreon subscriber, and I will see you in the next video.